It's not something welcome to West Yorkshire Engines based in Bradford, West Yorkshire. We're an independent Nissan specialist and I've been specialising in these vehicles for over 11 years now. So I can tell you a thing or two that you need to be looking out for if you're thinking of buying a Nissan Navara, because that's what this video is all about. I'll be showing you some tips and tricks that you need to know before you part with your hard-earned cash. Now come in the workshop. We've got a 2012 Nissan Navara, so she's slightly over 5-year-old. We've got a 2005 D22 in, and we've got a 2009 D40. All of them are in for different reasons and having different faults which we're dealing with during the course of the week. Now the 2012 model, if you're thinking of buying this particular vehicle, you need to be looking out for the chassis. And the weak points, as you can see there, it's already started to corrode. Yeah, but it's only light rust, so it's treatable, and we're working on wheel arch protection as well, so they'll be available soon. But again, the weak points are where the leaf spring meets the chassis. Now, if this vehicle has been doing a lot of towing over the years, it's always important that you ask the seller what they use their Nissan Navara for, because I'd say 90% of my customers need their Navara for a particular reason, and most of the time it's for work. So you've got to be checking either side, back and front of the leaf springs. Another thing that I always look for is you need to have gaps which are absolutely perfect, and that's looking to see whether this has been a crashed vehicle, because you want to check that the joins on the doors at the top are the same distance as what they are at the bottom, and it opens and closes freely. Same again with the driver's door. I'm looking at all the seams along, making sure that they're all the same diameter, because that will give you an indication as to whether this vehicle's been in a crash before, and you know, whether it's been put back together correctly, or you know, so you just got to be asking questions all the time. Do a HPI check, do an MOT check, see if there's any hidden advisories that might come up on the next MOT, because they can get quite expensive at times. So, right, one of the things I always do when I'm looking at an engine bay for a particular customer is just take off the plastic engine cover. There's two 10mm bolts and just pop it off. And straight away what's evident to me is if you have a look there, look how lathered in oil that injector is compared to that one, or that one, or that one. So that could actually indicate a potential problem. So I'm looking for other oil leaks and any sort of wet areas that might indicate either a coolant leak or an oil leak. This particular vehicle's covered over 137,000 miles, so there's a good chance that with it only being 5-year-old, it has been used for work. So would you buy it? I don't know. Another thing that you look at is the turbo. How clean is the turbo? Well, this one's actually lathered in oil, if you can see there. So again, use that as your bargaining chip when it comes to the price, because if you can get it cheaper, well, might as well replace the turbo with new. They're not that particularly dear, and if you deal with it early, you'll save yourself a fortune, because when they go, trust me, the bill can get expensive. Right, if you're thinking of buying a D22, similar thing, same checks, check all the areas. This one's had some serious money spent on it. This particular customer has had it repainted, he's had all sorts done, and then he's gone ahead and had nothing but engine problems. I've worked on this car for over 2 years now. I did a big end bearing to prevent engine failure because they suffer Corrode issues, and then lo and behold, not 2 years later, he's come in and he's got a cracked cylinder head. So we're actually fitting a brand new cylinder head for him, because it's pointless fitting a reconditioned one, because a reconditioned one is only pressure tested and skimmed. It could be 10-year-old, so it only might last a month. So if you've got a cylinder head problem, fit a new one. And while we've got the engine out, fit an exceeder clutch. Now, at the end of the day, this poor customer has had to replace absolutely everything on his vehicle, but he loves it, and he absolutely adores it. Now, the next Navara that we've got in this week came in for a burnt out clutch, dual mass flywheel failure. So rather than taking the gearbox out to do the clutch, the customer requested, because it's only done 52,000 miles as this car, the customer's requested that we do a timing chain upgrade because he's got a twin wheeler trailer, the biggest caravan that you can ever imagine. And I'm wondering what else I can share with you about. So back to a few tricks and tips. So we've looked for oil, we're looking for check the radiator cap, check the header tank, make sure there's no oil in there, take it for a drive. When you're thinking of buying a Navara, go to it when the engine is cold, because that will indicate any noises. Sometimes when the vehicle warms up, everything expands and goes tight again. So most of the rattles that will come from an engine will come from when the engine is cold, and that's probably one of the most important things, because the engine is the most expensive. Other than that, they're a cracking vehicle. You know, if you look after it and you're on top of it and look after it, she'll look after you. And anything else I can share with you in this video? No, right, the next videos that I've got coming out is I'm going to wipe the water with some internet myths and stories and basically tell you the truth and everything about the Nissan Navara that you need to know about to keep you on the road for, you know, saving you a fortune in repair costs. Now, a big thank you to everyone around the world. Find us on Facebook, call 01274 663 999 if you need my help and assistance at all, or you can email westyorkshireengines@gmail.com. Give us a like, come again, subscribe to this channel.